Hot dogs are an American staple. Backyard barbecues, baseball games, quick weeknight dinners. Americans consume over 20 billion hot dogs every year. But not all hot dogs are created equal. Some brands sold in every grocery store contain ingredients that many consumers may want to research before purchasing. Americans consume 20 billion hot dogs annually. Tonight we are examining 8 hot dog brands that warrant closer scrutiny. These are not obscure regional products. These are major national brands found in the refrigerated section of stores across America. And the ingredients in these hot dogs may surprise you when you understand what they actually are. The hot dog industry operates within USDA regulations that allow ingredients many consumers find concerning. Mechanically separated poultry is legally permitted in unlimited quantities. Chemical preservatives linked to health concerns and research studies are standard. Fillers reduce actual meat content. All of this is legal and disclosed on ingredient labels for those who read them carefully. These 8 brands represent products that health-conscious consumers may want to research. They use ingredients permitted under federal regulations, but that some nutritionists recommend limiting. Understanding what is in your food helps you make informed choices. Stick around until the end, because we will discuss which ingredients have been linked to health concerns and research studies, and what alternatives exist for consumers who want different options. But before we continue, hit that subscribe button, because understanding ingredient labels helps you make better choices for your family. Brand 1. Ballpark Classic Franks. Mechanically separated. Chicken Ballpark Franks are one of America's best-selling hot dog brands. According to their ingredient label, the primary ingredient is mechanically separated chicken. Understanding what this means helps consumers make informed choices. According to the USDA, mechanically separated poultry is a paste-like product produced by forcing bones with attached edible tissue through a sieve under high pressure to separate bone from edible tissue. The USDA considers it safe and has permitted its use since 1969 without quantity restrictions in products like hot dogs. USDA permits unlimited mechanically separated poultry. The ingredient list for Ballpark Classic Franks shows mechanically separated chicken, pork, water, corn syrup, potassium lactate, followed by salt, sodium phosphate, natural flavor, beef stock, and sodium nitrite, among other ingredients. Ballpark also uses sodium nitrite as a preservative. Sodium nitrite prevents bacterial growth and gives hot dogs their pink color. However, when meat containing sodium nitrite is cooked at high temperatures, compounds called nitrosamines can form. Research has associated nitrosamines with increased cancer risk, though the exact relationship continues to be studied. The World Health Organization's International Agency for Research on Cancer classified processed meats, including hot dogs, as Group 1 carcinogens in 2015, meaning sufficient evidence exists that they can cause cancer. The WHO noted that eating 50 grams of processed meat daily, about 1 hot dog, increases colorectal cancer risk by 18%, compared to eating none. The ingredient list also includes corn syrup for sweetness and modified food starch. These are added to affect texture and taste. Consumers reading labels should note that meat is not the only significant ingredient. Brand 2. Oscar Mayer Classic Whiners. Multiple meat sources. Oscar Mayer is perhaps the most recognizable hot dog brand in America. Examining their ingredient list reveals what is actually in these classic wieners. According to current product labels, Oscar Mayer, classic wieners contain mechanically separated chicken, mechanically separated turkey, pork, water, corn syrup, followed by salt, sodium phosphate, potassium chloride, sodium diacetate, sodium benzoate, sodium ascorbate, flavor, and sodium nitrite. 3 types of mechanically separated meat. The product contains multiple types of mechanically separated poultry as well as pork. Oscar Mayer states their products contain no artificial preservatives, colors, or flavors, and no added nitrates or nitrites except those occurring naturally in cultured celery juice. However, the ingredient label still lists sodium nitrite. Oscar Mayer also uses the term flavor on the ingredient list without specifying what that flavor actually is. Under current FDA regulations, many flavoring compounds can be listed simply as flavor or natural flavor without individual disclosure. Each Oscar Mayer Classic Wiener contains approximately 380 milligrams of sodium, according to nutrition information. The American Heart Association recommends limiting sodium intake to 2,300 milligrams daily, with an ideal limit of 1,500 milligrams for most adults. 2 hot dogs would provide over 750 milligrams of sodium. A 2017 article in Scientific American examined hot dog ingredients and noted that Oscar Mayer Classic Wieners contained mechanically separated turkey, mechanically separated chicken, pork, water, salt, ground mustard seed, and multiple sodium-based preservatives. Brand 3. Bar S Classic Franks. Budget brand with recall history. Bar S is a budget brand sold at discount retailers and grocery stores nationwide. The low price point makes it popular with budget-conscious consumers, but the brand has had documented food safety issues. In July 2016, Bar S Foods recalled approximately 372,684 pounds of chicken and pork hot dogs and corn dogs due to potential Listeria monocytogenes contamination. According to the USDA Food Safety and Inspection Service, the company initiated this recall due to recurring Listeria species issues at the firm. Recalled 372,684 pounds due to recurring Listeria issues. The USDA stated that Bar S had not received positive test results in the recalled products, but due to recurring Listeria species issues, the company removed products from commerce as a precautionary measure. This language from federal regulators indicates ongoing quality control challenges at the facility. Listeria monocytogenes can cause listeriosis, a serious infection that primarily affects older adults, pregnant women, newborns, and adults with weakened immune systems. In pregnant women, the infection can cause miscarriages, stillbirths, or life-threatening infection of the newborn. Bar S hot dogs contain mechanically separated chicken and pork according to their ingredient labels. The budget pricing reflects choices in ingredient sourcing and production that differ from premium brands. The 2016 recall was classified as Class 1 by the USDA, meaning there was reasonable probability that use of the product could cause serious adverse health consequences or death. This is the most serious classification of food recall. Brand 4. Nathan's Famous Beef Franks. Sodium and recall history. Nathan's Famous is associated with the annual hot dog eating contest at Coney Island. This brand recognition creates positive associations, but examining the products reveals information consumers should consider. In May 2017, Nathan's recalled 200,000 pounds of ready-to-eat hot dogs due to possible metal contamination. The USDA Food Safety and Inspection Service announced the recall after the company received 3 consumer complaints about finding metal objects in the beef frank product packages. Recalled 200,000 pounds for metal contamination. Nathan's Beef Franks list beef as the first ingredient, followed by water. According to their website, Nathan's Famous premium beef hot dogs are made with 100% beef. However, water as the second ingredient is common in hot dogs and contributes to the product weight. Nathan's hot dogs contain sodium phosphate, sodium diacetate, sodium erythorbate, and sodium nitrite according to ingredient labels. The sodium content is significant. Consumers monitoring sodium intake should check nutrition labels for specific amounts per serving. Nathan's has faced litigation over the years, including a 2009 lawsuit filed by the Cancer Project seeking warning labels on hot dogs about cancer risks. That lawsuit named Nathan's along with Oscar Mayer and other major brands. The American Meat Institute opposed the lawsuit, and the Cancer Project has faced criticism for its advocacy positions. The Hot Dog Eating Contest Association may create a perception that these products are meant for unlimited consumption. Health organizations recommend limiting processed meat intake, regardless of brand. Brand 5. Foster Farms. Corn dogs, major recall for foreign material. Foster Farms makes chicken products, including corn dogs. These products have experienced significant food safety issues documented by federal regulators. In October 2025, Foster Poultry Farms recalled approximately 3.8 million pounds of chicken corn dog products due to contamination with pieces of wood embedded in the batter. The USDA Food Safety and Inspection Service announced this recall after the company received multiple consumer complaints, including reports of at least 5 injuries. recalled 3.8 million pounds after wood found in products. This was not Foster Farms' only recall. In June 2023, Foster Farms brand mini chicken corn dogs were recalled for possible spoilage after consumer complaints about odor, off appearance, and unpleasant taste. The 2025 recall was classified as Class 1 by the USDA, meaning there was reasonable probability that consumption could cause serious adverse health consequences or death. The recalled products were distributed to retail and institutional locations nationwide, including Department of Defense and USDA commodity foods donations. Foster Farms corn dogs contain mechanically separated chicken, according to ingredient labels. The breading typically contains refined flour, corn-based ingredients, and various additives. The deep frying process used in corn dog production adds significant fat and calories to the product. Each Foster Farms corn dog contains approximately 220 calories and 11 grams of fat, according to nutrition information. The combination of processed hot dog and fried breading represents a highly processed food product. Brand 6, Great Value, Walmart. Hot dogs, store. Brand considerations. Walmart's Great Value store brand offers budget hot dogs, but store brand products deserve the same scrutiny as name brands. Store brands are manufactured by various contract producers whose identities may not be disclosed to consumers. Great Value hot dogs contain mechanically separated chicken, pork, and typical hot dog additives, including corn syrup and sodium nitrite, according to ingredient labels. The formulation is similar to other budget hot dog brands. Store brands may change suppliers without notice. Store brand products can change manufacturers over time without notice to consumers. The company producing your store brand hot dogs this year may not be the same company that produced them last year. This can create inconsistency in quality and sourcing. The budget pricing of store brand products raises questions about ingredient quality. Lower prices are achieved through some combination of ingredient choices, manufacturing efficiency, and reduced marketing costs. Consumers have limited visibility into which factors drive the lower price. Store brands do not face the same brand reputation concerns as major national brands. When a problem occurs with a store brand product, the store may simply change suppliers rather than addressing manufacturing issues. Consumers choosing store brand hot dogs should apply the same label reading practices they would use for name brands. The lower price does not exempt these products from the same ingredient and processing concerns that apply to all hot dogs. Brand 7. Armour. Hot dogs, processed meat. Concerns. Armour hot dogs are made by the same company that produces Spam and other shelf-stable processed meat products. Understanding the company's focus helps contextualize their hot dog products. Armour hot dogs contain mechanically separated chicken and pork according to ingredient labels. The products contain corn syrup, sodium nitrite, and various sodium-based preservatives typical of processed meats. Same manufacturer as Spam and other shelf-stable meats. The focus on shelf stability and cost reduction is consistent with the company's other product lines. These priorities may differ from the priorities of companies focused primarily on fresh meat products. Each Armour hot dog contains approximately 14 grams of fat, according to nutrition information. The saturated fat content is approximately 5 grams per serving. Health organizations recommend limiting saturated fat intake due to associations with cardiovascular disease. Armour uses potassium lactate and sodium lactate as preservatives. These are derived from lactic acid and extend shelf life by inhibiting bacterial growth. While generally recognized as safe by the FDA, they represent additional processing that would not be necessary in fresher products. The fat content in budget hot dogs like Armour can exceed that of products marketed as treats. Consumers may not realize that a single hot dog contains as much or more fat than many dessert items. Brand 8. State Fair corn dogs. Recent major recall. State Fair corn dogs are made by Hilshire Brands, a subsidiary of Tyson Foods. This brand experienced a massive recall in late 2025 that consumers should be aware of. In September 2025, Hilshire Brands recalled approximately 58 million pounds of corn dogs and sausage on a stick products. The recall was due to contamination with pieces of wood in the batter, similar to the Foster Farms recall that occurred shortly after. Recalled 58 million pounds for wood contamination. The State Fair corn dog recall was one of the largest food recalls in recent history. The affected products included State Fair corn dogs on a stick and Jimmy Dean pancakes and sausage on a stick products. The recall covered products distributed nationwide. Wood contamination in corn dog products from multiple manufacturers suggests potential industry-wide issues with certain ingredient suppliers or processing equipment. 2 major recalls for the same contaminant within weeks of each other is notable. State Fair corn dogs contain mechanically separated chicken or turkey depending on the specific product. The breading contains typical corn dog ingredients including flour, cornmeal, and sugar. The deep frying process adds significant fat content. The institutional distribution of these products means they may have been served in schools, hospitals, and other facilities. Parents and caregivers should be aware of which brands are served in their local institutions. Now that you understand concerns with these specific brands, what should health-conscious consumers consider when purchasing hot dogs? The WHO classifies all processed meat as a Group 1 carcinogen. First, understand that the World Health Organization has classified all processed meat, including hot dogs, as Group 1 carcinogens. This classification means sufficient evidence exists that these products can cause cancer. The American Institute for Cancer Research recommends eating little, if any, processed meat. Look for hot dogs labeled uncured or no nitrates added if you choose to eat hot dogs. These products typically use celery powder or celery juice instead of synthetic sodium nitrite. However, celery naturally contains nitrates that convert to nitrites, so the health benefit may be limited. Some research suggests products with celery-based curing may actually contain more nitrates than conventionally cured products. Consider hot dogs where whole meat is the first ingredient rather than mechanically separated meat. Some brands offer products made from beef, pork, or chicken that has not been mechanically separated. These typically cost more but contain recognizable meat rather than paste-like products. Check sodium content on nutrition labels. Check sodium content on nutrition labels. Look for hot dogs with less than 400 milligrams of sodium per serving if limiting sodium intake. Sodium content varies significantly between brands and product lines, even within the same brand. Be aware of recall history when choosing brands. The USDA Food Safety and Inspection Service maintains a database of recalls at fsis.usda.gov. Brands with multiple recalls or recalls due to recurring issues may have ongoing quality control challenges. Consider limiting hot dog consumption regardless of brand. Health organizations including the American Institute for Cancer Research and the World Health Organization recommend limiting processed meat consumption due to cancer risk associations. Read ingredient lists before purchasing. Shorter ingredient lists with recognizable ingredients generally indicate less processing. Ingredient lists with many chemical names indicate extensive processing to achieve shelf stability and uniform texture. Consider limiting processed meat consumption overall. If you choose to serve hot dogs, consider them an occasional treat rather than a regular meal. The WHO research suggests that cancer risk increases with the amount of processed meat consumed. Occasional consumption presents lower risk than daily consumption. Conclusion: the 8 hot dog brands we examined tonight represent common products sold in millions of American stores. Understanding their ingredients, processing methods, and safety histories helps consumers make informed choices. Understanding ingredients helps you make informed choices. Ballpark and Oscar Mayer use mechanically separated poultry as primary ingredients. Bar East has had recalls due to recurring listeria issues at their facilities. Nathan's recalled products for metal contamination. Foster Farms and State Fair both recalled millions of pounds of corn dogs for wood contamination in 2025. Great Value and Armor represent budget options with typical processed meat concerns. The World Health Organization classifies all processed meat as a Group 1 carcinogen. This means the same classification as tobacco smoking for causing cancer, though the actual risk levels differ significantly. Research suggests processed meat consumption increases colorectal cancer risk by 18% for every 50 grams consumed daily. Now you have information to make your own choices. You understand what mechanically separated meat means. You know which brands have had significant recalls. You understand that all processed meat carries some health concerns according to international health organizations. All processed meat carries health concerns according to WHO. If this video helped you understand hot dog products better, hit that subscribe button. Understanding food labels and product histories helps consumers make informed decisions. What will you look for next time you buy hot dogs? Drop it in the comments. Let us know if this information changed how you think about these products. The next time you are in the hot dog aisle, take a moment to read ingredient lists. Consider checking the USDA recall database for brands you purchase regularly. Your purchasing choices can support companies that prioritize quality and safety. Hot dogs can be an occasional treat when you choose products that align with your values and health priorities. The information in this video helps you make those choices with greater awareness of what you are actually purchasing.